Welcome back to the Four Corners Podcast. And today we again have me, Tyler, Dylan, and Spencer. And I think that today's opening topic is very important, given everything that seems to be transpiring, well, like on a worldly stage, just in your communities, just in your own lives, whatever it may be. I think it just opens up with just being good to each other. I feel like there's just so much negativity, and it's hard not to be negative during these times of just constant worrying and things to worry about and people you don't like being in charge or your boss or whatever it may be that you don't like that you got going on in your life. I think being good to yourself as well is very important, but we do need to emphasize on how to treat people with respect and get along, because at the end of the day, we're all on this giant rock in the middle of outer space in a universe that we don't even know how it came to be, why we're all here. We might as well at least try to make it a little better by at least, even if you don't like somebody, at least somehow having common ground.
I think the big thing is people need to understand that the world is changing. There's a lot of different shit that's going to be happening, but you can't fucking throw your morals and your fucking values out the window just because something fucking bad happens in your life. You can't go on to be a shitty person just because something bad happens to you.
Gotta be strong.
And in my view, my perspective, I have two things to say on this. There's a line from the 12th Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi. It's always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. And that's what I live by. Be kind to everybody, no matter the janitor or the CEO. The other thing is you don't... just be
janitor. He snitched on me when I was smoking weed one time. Just
That being said,
Dark. No. Okay, I'm sorry, Spencer.
That being said, you don't know what everybody else is going through. So just because, and just generally, just because you think that you know what's going on in their life, or you know what's best for them, or you think that you know what's going on and how you can fix it, doesn't mean you know everything that's going on in their head or in their life. So be kind and do what you can do to help others, but don't be oppressive about it.
You know, at that point, really, I mean, if you really think about it, it all comes down to that one thing that we all know. We're all very familiar with it. And I'm sure you guys can guess it. The goddamn golden rule, baby. Why the fuck are you treating people the way you don't want to be treated? Why?
Even if somebody comes at you with anger, even if somebody comes at you with anger, long-standing anger, whether it be short-standing or long-standing, whether it's justified or not, anger or oppressiveness or general dislikeness towards you, you got to treat them back with kindness. If they come at you in an aggressive way, hit them with kindness, because that's what you got to show them is the most important thing.
I think you actually just hit something very important there too, is learning how to... We gotta learn how to forgive. Like, that is one thing I'm seeing in today's society more and more, is like people are less willing to talk out their problems with each other, because in today's society, we live in a society where you can go on Facebook and, like, if I really wanted to, I would never do this, it'd be stupid as hell, but if you really want to, like, you could abandon all your friends and skip town and go to a whole new town and never talk to your family or anything, but meet a bunch of people online who you feel connected with.
Which is what I did.
And you didn't skip town.
No, I didn't skip town, but I have another whole family.
But either way, you see what I mean, though, right? So like we live in a disposable society. Is what this one YouTube video, this YouTuber I watch, his name's shouting him out, I guess, called the Canadian Prepper. He talked about how we live in this weird disposable society, kind of, where like you can break up with your girlfriend and then probably find another girlfriend in like 6 months, just because we're so interconnected. You can always talk to somebody. You can always find somebody. And it's caused people to, like, when you don't like somebody, to be like, well, why should I work it out with that person? I can get a new best friend tomorrow.
And not what were you going to say, something?
I was.
You just pointed at
me. You just pointed. I thought you were pointing at me.
No. We need to get a camera so I can just see that dumb shit.
Yeah, you just pointed. I was like, are you pointing at me? Not only that, so there's a multitude of people that I don't get along with, both in my life, close to me, family, etc., right? There's people that just in general I don't get along with, or have a disparity towards me that I don't have towards them. Obviously, I have a distrust and dislike for some people, but I found that being productive and trying to at least better a relationship or be kind towards them is proving to be effective, because even if they're angry with you or they think that you're not making the right decisions or they're concerned about you, again, doesn't mean they know what's going on in your life. Like me personally, have a lot of things going on, and a lot of people in my life try to help me, but nobody except for me knows exactly what's going on with me.
Here's the thing, though. You can care without being nosy.
Exactly.
You can care from the outside.
Yeah.
Looking in. You don't have to give your opinion every single time you think something. That's the problem with today's society, is everybody thinks that they are fucking like
this entitled fucking person.
And their opinion matters more than anybody else's does.
Sometimes I'm just
and it's usually all because they either have money or there's some fucking famous fucking person that's on social media all the time, or
sometimes
it comes down to
sometimes somebody will say something, or sometimes somebody will give me their opinion, and I'm like, respectfully, I don't give a shit.
But that's the problem, is they've always got to be talking.
At the end of the day,
shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, dude, we're all just human. We all have the same conscience.
If your opinion,
we're all the same fucking thing.
You can talk about your opinion behind closed doors.
No one person.
But as soon as it becomes out in the open, and you're tearing down a person just to get ahead in life, you're the biggest piece of shit out there.
Not only that, there's tearing people down, and then there's what you think is helping people, or what you think is positive input, or what you think is helping people, pressuring somebody or telling them, moving them towards something, maybe isn't the best thing for them, and that creates not only a negative detriment to their mental state, but it creates wanting to push somebody away
and that's,
to such a point where you don't want to talk to them anymore.
And that's where, as people, we just got to be upfront with each other, and you just got to tell people that, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody in your life, like, and this is often with parents, usually you see this with children and parents that have differences. Like, for me, like, my parents, just for background, they're really like, how should I put it? Like, old school kind of parent style. Like, they're very kind of not strict, but they like to give you that lenience, but they're super old school. And I don't like that strict parenting style. I'm a free soul. I believe in freedom to the utmost. Like, I'm almost to the point where I almost don't even want a government, but I know that we need one. Obviously, so I'm not crazy, but I'm at that point where it's like, I'd rather be the free individual. But people need to learn how to just be upfront with each other and voice their issues, and learn how to walk away from each other, though, if you just don't get along, instead of continuing battles that don't need to be fought, because it's pointless.
Do you guys know what's going to be the biggest problem in the United States?
What's that?
In the next 3 years.
The divided states, you mean? I'm just kidding.
You're not wrong.
Some shit's coming. It's coming, dude. It's coming soon.
I think a lot of shit's coming together in a certain way, but that's just my opinion. But what do you guys think is going to be the biggest problem in the United States in the next 3 years? I know what it is. I want to get your
Let's go one at a time. We'll start with Spencer.
So I think the biggest problem in the United States, and I say this as somebody who's on social media, who has, basically, for lack of better wording, a figurehead. I am a figurehead in social media, and at least in my little venue, in my little platform, in my niche of my corner of what I do. People are so oversensitive, I think, to things that they shouldn't be, like things that don't even apply to them. And I mean this in like the best way possible. You good?
Yeah.
I mean that, and just listen.
No. What is the problem? I'm not trying to get an explanation. I want to hear what.
I think the problem is people.
In the next 3 years.
I think the biggest problem is going to become people are sensitive to issues that have nothing to do with them, and it's going to cause the world to crumble.
Okay. Next, Terrence. What do you think is going to be the big problem in the next 3 years?
I honestly think...
I
honestly, truly do believe that it's going to come down to climate change, and it's very simple.
I don't think it's going to happen that fast.
But it's not going to happen that fast. It's very simple.
I had the same idea as Spencer and fucking Terrence. I mean, here's the deal. If you're going to be a fucking snowflake about shit, like, you need to realize, dude, you don't need to be like that.
Hold on. That's all three of you guys. Do you want to know what the biggest problem is going to be in the next 3 years? Mental fucking health.
Yeah.
That's what we're fucking talking about.
I was actually talking to
people get so far. When people get so far in their own head.
Climate change is going to become a problem
No, actually, I told
5
Spencer...
to 7 years.
I told Spencer that climate change and mental health will go hand in hand.
We had a whole conversation.
Yes, me and Spencer had this whole conversation.
Deteriorating.
And here's
at a fucking rapid rate. They just threw fucking COVID at us. And all you people out there who think COVID is like this big bad thing that just came out of nowhere, no, you can go fuck yourself. This thing was created to
you don't
fucking
need to be that
slow
rude about
us
it.
down. No, I have my own opinion.
Just go
Okay,
fuck
you
yourself.
guys-
This thing was created to slow us down as a race, as a society, as fucking human beings in general.
Oh, well, by slow us
Because
down,
we
what do
were
you mean
going-
necessarily?
Because we were going too fast. We were figuring out shit that they didn't want us to figure out.
Who's they? That's always
The
the big
government.
The
question.
big people. It doesn't
Yes.
even just have to be the government.
No, it's not.
Because it's not the government, because money rules everything. It's the motherfuckers who have billions upon billions upon billions of
No matter what
dollars.
country they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's that family that owns
Not
all those
only
companies.
that. Not only that. The
It's not just a family. It's a fucking
You know
network.
who I'm talking about.
They have a network that is capable of bringing down the entire world. And that's what we should be really scared of.
Can I actually say
No,
something?
what
real
we
quick?
should be
But
really
even
scared
they-
of.
No, you guys.
Fighting.
But
What we
even
should
they-
really be scared of is Kang the Conqueror.
No, you guys.
But
I
even
need to.
they are worried about climate.
No, I need to say something. I need
And
to say
that's
something.
why I really do believe it's going to be climate
Why do you think
change.
they're going to space, bro?
I was just watching this.
Why do you think they're going to space?
Let's Spencer.
I need to say something. Okay, spoilers for Black Widow. Anybody? This is actually incredibly relevant. That's why I was talking about the geopolitical issues that they have in that movie. It's incredibly relevant to what's going on right now. It's exactly what you talked about. Again, spoilers for Black Widow. Skip ahead about a minute if you don't want to hear anything about it. There is a scene in the movie, Dracot, the bad guy. He talks about how he can take his widows, which is basically a secret government organization. Not government, but a secret organization. And he said, I can change she said, I can change the tides of war. I can make it so that everything changes with my widows. He's like, they're expendable. He said he said they're girls. And obviously this isn't my opinion. He said, we are using the world's most expendable resource, girls. They are unneeded. He said, with these widows, we can change the tides of war. Anything that I want to happen can happen. And that's exactly what's going on behind the scenes right now. It's 100% what's going on behind the scenes.
Well,
Not 100%.
I was gonna say,
Not the widow thing, but I'm
It
talking
has
about...
nothing to do with girls. It has
No,
to
no,
do
no,
with
no, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how there's a government organization behind or an organization nonetheless behind everything. There's no way that all of this is just going on with President Biden and fucking Nancy Pelosi.
Well,
It's not.
here's the big thing though, is a lot of people think that just because
Jesus Christ.
bless you,
Hey,
but
pause it.
So what I was saying is basically these money fucking multi-millionaires, billionaires that we've got in this country
Jeffrey
are
Bezos.
trying to find a fucking way out right now. Do you not see what's going on? There's a race to space
Yes, yep.
between
Elon Musk.
Tony fucking
It's the guy who runs...
Stark.
no, Tony, it's like Tony Braxton, isn't it?
No. It's the guy who runs...
Stark.
Virgin Mobile.
No, the guy who runs Oracle. It's not him. It's the guy who runs Oracle.
No.
Elon Musk
No,
and Jeffrey
Tony
Bezos.
Braxton
Tony
is in it.
Stark.
No, Tony Braxton is in it, I'm pretty sure.
It's those four. It's the guy who runs Oracle.
Bezos?
Bezos. Musk. The guy
Braxton.
and the guy who runs Oracle.
Yeah.
Tony
those
Those
Stark.
four
Dylan,
are
we
trying
know.
to they're trying to get to space.
And do you know who's winning
Yeah.
right now? Jeffrey Bezos.
Well, he's got the most money.
And then it's Elon
Easily.
Musk.
but
But
here's the
Musk
deal.
has been doing
His
it
name's
for a
Richard
while.
Branson,
but-
by the way.
That
Not
has
Branson. Richard Branson.
and,
yes.
and this is why I've been saying is I think we should be more like see people always believe like oh well when stuff like this is happening it's all just a ploy to make us pay more on the carbon taxes
Dude,
and
the media
and all
is
this stuff,
literally blowing this shit up over
but see that's the thing
millions
is
of people losing their fucking houses.
to wildfires and everything yeah but this
No. People are literally getting evicted at a massive
Oh,
rate right now
well-
because the stimulus checks have run out.
well okay that if you're talking about that that's a whole separate issue from climate change but a lot of people aren't talking about that so we should bring that up the
We
looming
haven't been helping our people.
the looming housing crisis, and I've been talking about this for a long time. The looming housing crisis in the United States is crazy.
Why do
And
you
whenever
think
you bring
nobody
it up to
wants to
people,
work?
though, nobody talks about it. But it's kind of like
Nobody wants to work because it took us forever to get to this fucking wage.
it kind of did. It
Right
took
now,
way too
we
long.
should have been making this wage probably 10
the
years
80s.
ago.
Here's the one thing that I find unfair.
Should have
about
been making it in the 80s.
I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna say something real
Should
quick.
have been way before the
One
2000s.
thing
way
that I
before the whole
find
2000s.
unfair about this wage is people that are making 21 plus.
You gotta
Let me fucking say this. People that are working for 21 plus an hour, and all of a sudden these people that are getting these $15 minimum wage, why the fuck aren't our wages bumped up like that?
You've got a motherfucker
See, hold on.
that is going to space
Yeah.
that is paying $15 an hour to his big fucking workers.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys knew
Jeffrey Bezos.
and that's
He's
the thing.
paying people $15 an hour to go to space.
$15 an hour.
To go to space.
No. They don't have anything to do with space. But he made that money paying people as little as he could for as hard as they work. Amazon doesn't even have a fucking goddamn break room.
To say that is these.
They don't even have break rooms.
If we as people,
they have nowhere to sit.
Want wages to increase, we have to unionize. Like it's
a warehouse. Nobody.
But that's why the United States. That's why the United States hates unions. They get a 15-minute break. They hate any of that shit.
And they stay at their fucking station and have to eat lunch there.
Standing up.
Oh yeah.
No chairs. Nothing.
And if you become productive for,
but he's got $400 billion.
You guys listen to this. This is actually a fact. If you become somebody who worked there, at least this was a fact about this was the case about 2 years ago. If you were unproductive for less or for like you had a 5-minute timer, if they found out you're being unproductive for any longer than that, like if you had a stomachache or something, you need to take a second because you were feeling nauseous. If you took any longer than 5 minutes, they would fire you on the spot.
But going back to the whole...
They have so many workers, it's expendable.
Going back to the whole, like, space thing and people trying to leave the planet, I was just watching this today about how, if you've noticed, like this climate change stuff has been getting worse and worse and worse, and there's been little done about it over the past 50 years. And this, people act like this is something that we've only been warning about since, like, maybe 2010. No, it's been since the 80s. People have been warning about this.
That timer.
And...
when that timer runs out,
and see, they said 7 years until we had hit irreversible changes.
I feel like it's already come.
And because of that, I've been slowly wondering, what if they aren't telling us just how bad this shit actually is going to get? But hold on, because they're trying to leave the planet, right? Like they're trying to leave. But yet they're telling us everything is fine. But they want to leave by 2025. That's their goal, to leave the planet by 2025, but they're telling us everything is fine. But yet the actual people doing the research are saying 7 years, and then we're going to hit, so that'd be by, this came out 2020, so that come out 2027. They were saying by 2027 we would hit so much in reverse. Like, this is just the beginning is what they're basically saying. All this shit you're seeing right now with the weather, it's just the beginning. And
it's easier.
Why do you think they're trying to leave?
It's almost like
before the 7 year mark.
Like seasons are being pushed back.
It's easier. It's easier to move 100 million people than it is to change 7 billion people.
And this is what you guys are
They're
talking
only
about.
going to pick certain people. We're not all going to survive.
That's not what that was about. That was not about COVID.
We're just not.
I know.
That's just the way it goes. You're not going to save 7 billion people.
So this is what...
Well, we could. We can't.
Just listen.
We can't move that many people in 5 to 7 years.
We can change. We don't have to.
No, we can't. Not in 7 years.
You guys, listen.
It's irreversible at this point.
You guys, listen.
That's what they're not telling us. We've already fucked up.
Listen.
To the point where it is irreversible, and they already know that. There's scientists that have proven that.
And the billionaires are
that's why it's easier to move. It's easier to move 100 million people than it is to change 7 million people.
Why is the number limited at 100 million?
That's just what I think.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, why would that?
I need to say something.
I don't think a billion people are going
to. Who gets selected?
I think it's going to be the biggest natural disaster in human history, and that's how it's going to go down. That's the end of the world.
What do you have to say, Spencer?
I need to say something to you guys. So scientists at Oxford and Brown University currently, people who used to work with Albert Einstein, those like not with him but in that same field,
Where's your source?
Just listen right here. It's literally on. It's
okay, Inquisitor Tyler.
Either way, they said they're from Brown University and Oxford University. That's my source.
You know what? Fuck you, man.
Where's your source?
So much shit.
Yeah.
I don't got no fucking source. You keep your fucking mouth shut.
You want my sources? You want my sources?
Just listen.
Fuck you is my source. That's my source.
All right, listen. This is what I'm trying to say though. Because so they said right now, as at this point right now, we are 100 seconds to midnight. That gives us 76 years. These people are predicting 76 years. So just listen. 2097 will be the fall of human civilization at this point. That's what they are saying.
It's already happening.
When I'm 99.
That's the funny thing, is the apocalypse isn't going to be like one specific year. It's going to be multiple years.
Well, I understand that, but they're saying at that point.
But that's the funny thing. It's
going to be like a long process.
Yes, and it's already
and it's going to happen slowly.
But that's the funny thing. It's already happening. We just haven't...
Dude, it started with California fucking sinking. That's when it fucking started.
It's
It
been
started with California being on fire every summer.
yeah.
Like, the shit's drier than dry.
Drier than your mom's pussy.
You got to think about how much water they export too.
Shut the fuck up.
Like the amount of water they export and just all that stuff. I mean, it really is an interesting thing to think about too, because we
They have
sit
one
here.
natural reservoir in LA.
Okay, can somebody please explain me how the fuck California is sinking? Or is it just the ocean levels are rising?
Correct.
The
Yes.
ocean levels are rising.
Oh, so it's not
Because
technically
the
fucking
glaciers
sinking. I'm like, how the fuck is it sinking?
The glaciers in the north are melting at an exponential rate. So that means all the water around it is going to go up. And it's going to keep going up. Until everything fucking sinks.
Shit, dude.
Why do you think they want to
Midwest is gonna
fucking
be the only
leave?
thing left.
No, it's not. Midwest is going to be gone too. We have 5 Great Lakes around us. Are you kidding me?
But
Yeah, but those things aren't gonna fucking the glaciers are dude.
Where do you think the water? Where do you think the water from those lakes runs to,
I
Dylan?
think I don't think. It's
Where do you
gonna
think
hit
the
us.
water runs
I don't
to?
think it's gonna.
Where do you
hit
think
us.
the water from the lakes runs
Mississippi?
to? The ocean.
it actually it's
It runs all the way to
Tyler,
the ocean.
Tyler, actually, you're
Channels.
both kind of half right and half wrong. It's actually more likely that the Midwest would turn into more of a deserted wasteland, if anything. Like we would turn more into because like the weather would get so hot
In the
here.
first 5 years.
The weather would get so hot here without
But
winters.
eventually
We would turn
we're
more
gonna
into
sink
like
with the
just kind
rest
of
of it.
a wasteland of heat.
This place
Everybody's
is,
going to Canada, baby.
this place is going to become
Well,
all water.
If anything,
everything's going to be water.
people will
We have-
migrate south.
We've only explored 7% of our fucking oceans.
This is true.
7%. That's it. That's
So
all
you're
we
telling me
explored.
Megalodon might be real.
Oh,
Oh,
there
it-
might
well,
be
it was real.
monsters out there that
The
you
megalodon was
never
real.
even
It was
heard of.
a
Oh, well, I
prehistoric.
mean, like still living.
It could be for all we
There
know.
might be monsters.
I
that
mean,
we
I know
never
all
heard
of that shit.
I was saying
know
it could
all
be
that
for
shit.
all we know. It's just one of those things where it's like until we see one.
What if
I'm
the
gonna believe
dinosaurs?
that I think
What if
it's
the
gone.
dinosaurs evolved just like we did? And
What
they
if we are
fucking
the
went
dinosaurs?
So why I was
underwater?
about to say, what if we are the dinosaurs?
What if the dinosaurs went underwater?
They probably did. If you really think about it.
No, they were killed off.
Well, no, because they have alligators and shit.
Yeah, but that's just evolution. Through
I'm saying at the
species.
deepest depths of the ocean, because that pressure from the water, you have to be a strong.
Well, how would they have
motherfucker
survived
to
all
survive
of that?
They adapt. Evolution.
There's no way a T-Rex
Yeah.
can fucking go swim all the way down
No.
and not be able to hold its breath for that long.
Yeah, it would have
I
been
don't
crushed.
believe
It would have been crushed
It
to
would have
death from
turned
water
into a
pressure.
fish.
How
It
does it just turn
drowned.
into a fish?
It would have drowned.
It would have just been crushed to
You
death
can't
by the
just
water
fucking-
pressure.
A dinosaur can't just fucking grow gills in the matter of fucking 5
No,
years.
it takes years upon
But-
years. But,
But
if you
those,
lay your
but
eggs,
those
have
dinosaurs
time.
are dead.
if you lay your eggs in the water, and they
But they didn't have time
Came
for
up.
that.
This is a one-time thing, dude.
The meteors,
One time,
as far as
boom.
we know, the meteor smacked
How
into
do
the
you know
planet.
how do you know it was a meteor?
But that's what I said. That's why I said
Geology
as far
facts,
as
huh?
we know. As
There's-
far as we know.
There's no facts.
There is a geological.
There are some geological
Yeah,
facts that
but-
at least there's
That there was a
geological
meteor.
facts that say that the meteor may have not have
The meteor landed in
it-
Middle East.
it had a lot to do with why the dinosaurs died. At least.
It landed between
Is it
Africa
the
and
only
Asia.
reason? No, because I'm pretty sure that the meteor, when it hit, probably didn't just kill off all the dinosaurs, but you got to think about it. The debris and all that would probably block out the sun.
That's what happened.
And then when that blocks out the sun, it would create
That's
a
why
volcano.
I'm
That's
sure
why
it was a
most of
meteor
marine
and not a
life-
volcanic explosion.
No, it was a meteor.
But
That's
that
why
could have.
there's-
But there have been plenty of evidence to suggest
There's
that
geological
volcanoes
evidence that says it was a meteor.
But there's also geological evidence to say that volcanoes also have played a big part
Or
in
you think
that
it's
too.
fucking Thanos that just went by dinosaurs?
No, I think it was a volcano.
I think it was a volcano
super
that was so big
Yeah,
that it wiped out.
that was in the
multiple-
middle of the fucking ocean. Which is why our oceans are now way higher than what they are.
Is
I don't
there
think they were
any-
this high. Because the landmass, you gotta remember, Pangea, the landmass was all together. Now it's all spread out.
Okay, here it is, Tyler. This is where it landed.
because
The Yucatan Peninsula.
continents shift over time, dude.
There's even a theory right
Yes,
now
but
that
how did they break apart?
that the ice age
Because they
was
shift over time.
ended because of meteors. So it's more likely a meteor hit
Earthquakes,
the
too.
planet. Exactly, Tyler.
Tyler, this is where
It's
it
just
landed.
10 times more likely because meteors have struck this
Okay,
planet
but
over and
was
over
that
again.
connected?
Huh?
Was that connected? So
Yes,
was that
it
the
was
top part?
part
Or
of
was
the
that
It
the
was
bottom?
probably a smaller meteorite that did that, and then the ash
Was
caused
it the
fucking,
middle
like,
part?
It landed in Mexico.
Which is very close proximity enough to where you could fuck everything up.
That's
For the dinosaurs, anyway.
That's center of probably.
And you got to think about it. After the dinosaurs, what's the next big event in history? Usually, like the Ice Age or whatever.
The Ice Age was
it was
and
the
that
Ice
would
Age
make-
because it covered
and that
the
would
sun
make
and fucking
total
froze
Just
everything.
listen. Just listen. So between the dinosaurs and the Ice Age, there was mammalians, which they.
That's
Well-
also consistent with a volcano too.
Exactly, that is very consistent. That's why I say it's not.
Do you want to know
set
what
in
happened?
stone.
Do you want to know what? No,
But
Tyler,
is
listen.
that what they're not telling us?
No,
No, they say the
this is what
meteors are
happened.
set in stone theory,
This is-
but it's not.
The
It's
meat.
not.
So
because
he's correct.
there's plenty of evidence to
listen to
suggest
this,
it could have been plenty of other things.
Just listen to this. So nobody interrupt me. So this is essentially what may most likely have happened, because you're right about the volcano thing. Meteor hit, right? Meteor that size did not hit Earth in millions and millions and millions of years before the dinosaurs. Like they hit Earth every, you know what I mean, a couple million years, right? It had
Meteors can hit us at any
Just-
time.
just
it
like-
doesn't take a.
Why don't they hit
There's
it?
nobody in the sky
hits us
snapping
right
their
now.
fingers
Just
saying
nobody.
every million
You guys-
years.
Why-
Check.
Ain't no Thanos, yo.
Why
You
is
guys
that
are
the
done,
last-
bitch. You
why
guys
is
are
that the
done.
last
Fuck out
time?
of here. Fuck out of here, bitch.
Why is
Every
that the-
million years.
Why is that the last time?
Just listen to me.
something
You
big
guys
like that happened?
interrupted me. Listen,
Okay, go on.
I'm trying to
Go on,
explain.
go on, go on.
When a super
Spencer,
volcano
go on.
just
I can't.
erupted in, what was it?
Dude,
1200 BC?
Just
Dude,
listen.
there
listen.
I
are-
know.
there-
Hey, Spencer,
Tom,
Spencer,
all of you
said
guys,
something.
there are
Spencer-
so many theories out there. We don't know the facts.
Nobody-
They're all just theories.
Nobody even
bro.
let me finish.
Literally
He was in the
everything you
middle of
know
something.
is
We
theories.
just broke it up.
Hey, Dylan, let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought, okay?
Everything, bro.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, wait.
Spencer,
Homie.
finish your thought.
Yeah,
Let me finish my
his
thought. Okay, so what happened? And this is what happened. This is science. Well,
Hold on,
not
let me finish my thought real quick.
Wait, no, seriously, let him finish. He was
That's what
already.
you're doing to me, bro.
because you were talking right in the middle of when I started talking.
Yeah, we did start doing that.
So it's like let's just say it's scientific fact. And don't do that to me, dude. You know I don't like that.
What scientific fact?
They say it's
They say. Go on.
so. Let's just say this is scientific fact that the asteroid hit. That's what wiped out the dinosaurs, right? After that, what had happened was there was basically a super long winter. The sun was blocked out. Vegetation died, right? It led to the fall.
Wait. Why vegetation wouldn't really matter for the dinosaurs?
Just
though?
listen. I'm not saying it did.
So, but then
You said you wouldn't interrupt me.
Wait, that's why I bring that up because they say that shit. But what does that mean?
Just listen.
Are there humans back then? Because if that makes sense, if there were humans back then, we're told that there weren't humans.
Just
I believe
listen
that there
to
always
me.
have been humans on this planet.
Just fucking listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Okay, sorry.
There were herbivoric dinosaurs. Those dinosaurs died out because of that, and because the herbivoric dinosaurs who didn't eat meat ate plants, and those plants died. Then the fucking dinosaurs who ate meat died because they didn't have any fucking meat to eat. That's how the dinosaurs got wiped out. It wasn't immediately by the.
I'm sorry, but I really don't believe that we came from a fish.
Dylan, let me talk. Anyway,
I really
so the
don't
volcanoes,
believe
right? Those
No, he's right though. Keep
So the asteroid, right? Those when that shit happens, the craters, right? That shockwave sets off volcanoes, things like that. Those volcanoes explode, kill more dinosaurs, create ash,
Let me
super
ask you
volcanoes.
So it's more like
And you want to know what happened?
So
to
where
it?
is the
So what-
hole
So what you're
Listen.
in the Middle East where this hit?
No, just listen to me. Listen to me. I have one last thing to finish my thing, right? That right there, all of that, shockwaves and everything, 63 million years later, because there was a 63 million time period between when the dinosaurs went extinct and the Ice Age, right? Mammals formed during that time because everything was growing back, right? They I don't know how they came to be, but they formed during that time, right?
Wait.
And a volcanic explosion is what caused the Ice Age because the Earth was not. They went
Yeah,
into another eternal
that makes
winter,
sense.
and the volcanic explosion because it was blocking the
but
sun caused the Ice Age.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah,
Look up where was the hole? Like where?
yeah. It was.
Is there a picture of it right now, or
Where's
can we
this
not
hole?
see it anymore?
It was it's in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Can we still see it? Or
Where is it?
Stop screaming, Jesus fuck.
You're like an inquisitor right
No,
now.
He had to. He's open up the soda. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sounds like when I yell when I have to
This is a
fart.
hole from the asteroid in the Yucatan Peninsula.
That's
where
how
it
big
hit.
they said it was, like 38 meters, right?
Yep, this is a hole. This is a hole that killed the
where's the
dinosaurs.
asteroid?
It's fucking. It was like 80 million years ago. It disintegrated.
It gets destroyed in
How
the
did
impact.
How did it get?
It's a rock. It disintegrated.
Tyler, so
Where's
it rock?
Europe,
Tyler,
rock
Tyler,
enters
Tyler,
the atmosphere,
Tyler, have you ever heard of
burns
the?
off.
Wait, no, I got something perfect for this. Have you guys ever heard of
Creates a crater.
the? Have you guys ever heard
I
of
do, but-
the Tunguska event?
No.
Okay, so the Tunguska event was a meteorite event that happened so long ago in human history. It was still enough. Like I think it was the early 1900s. It was in Russia, Tunguska, Russia. People reported seeing something just fly across the sky on fire, and it was like so powerful that it was splitting the sky in two essentially. And then when it crashed, they realized it was a meteor, that it was so powerful, right? But it was a meteorite that was so big that if it didn't explode like midair, because you're wondering where is it? Well, it explodes usually midair and then just devastates everything across the ground, kind of like a nuclear. That's why nukes are compared to meteors, because nuclear explosions, they don't just, contrary to popular belief, they don't hit the ground and then explode. They're usually supposed to detonate across the sky to maximum damage.
And not only
when this happened in the Tunguska event, shockwaves were sent everywhere across, and like
3 people died.
Plus, the ozone
hundreds
takes
of
away almost
yards.
half of the fucking meteorite.
Tyler, not only that,
Yeah.
how did our cliffs around here form, right? Water, right? This was 80 fucking million years ago that this asteroid hit. Water and other shit is going to deteriorate the asteroid if there was anything
just
left.
Mother Nature at its finest.
Just the hole's going to be left. There's going to be nothing left of
and
that
then it creates
asteroid.
that glass effect
Yeah,
across.
if it was
you
80
won't
million,
see the meteor,
dude. I'm telling you right now, 80 million years ago, this all right here that we're in was underwater.
Dude,
This was all underwater.
well, as far as
if the meteor was
we
still
don't
there,
have
there would be a
pictures of that,
museum
obviously,
built around it. I'll tell you right now. If the meteor was still there, there
Oh,
would be a
hell
museum
yeah.
around it.
I'm not saying the whole meteor has to be still there. Where
That'd
are
be
the
sick if it
pieces?
was though.
Tyler, it was 80
Why
million
haven't
years
we
ago.
found any pieces? We
Because-
can find fossils of the fucking.
Oh no, there is
dinosaurs
pieces.
that
No, there
died.
is pieces. There's still fragments within
Where
the
are they?
hole. In the hole. Like they're in the ground in the hole. They're like it's been 80 million years. Shit's happened to the ground since then.
You know what's really exciting? To think that one day like a fucking asteroid or like a meteorite could fucking hit us.
I want proof.
see.
And we find a different like thing on the periodic table, a new element.
Yeah,
How crazy would that be?
that'd be very crazy. And like you got to also think about it. Like meteorites,
That's what's left.
it's one of those things where it's like they can hit us at any time. It's probably the one threat that nobody's prepared for.
Royal
Yeah,
Holloway
like-
University of London.
You really
And-
can't prepare for that either, though.
No, you
Unless you have a
can't.
fallout shit, but still, that's not really gonna do shit.
It doesn't matter if
And
you've
that's
heard of
why,
it. It's a
Yeah,
place.
it does.
I've always been kind of believing that. I feel like if anything was to happen, I feel like that would be out of the blue and it'd be from space. It would have to be a meteorite or a black hole or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but why isn't there any big boys that have discovered it or have followed up on it?
So I guess I should say this though. Why don't you think
This
that
is
the
this is where it
meteorite
landed.
wiped out
This
the-
is where it landed,
I think
Tyler.
it was fucking.
Tyler, this is where it landed.
I
Look,
think it was way crazier than that.
this is where it
Do you
landed.
think that we killed off the dinosaurs or
No.
something? Okay,
I think it
I've
was,
heard of people
I think
thinking
it was
that.
fucking a natural disaster where volcanoes erupted and fucking just crazy shit was going on because that's the way the Earth was going. 'Cause
Dude,
the
people are-
habitat was
People are
fucking happening around us. Like
people
they
are
say,
saying
all
that
this
for
shit
no
happened
reason.
this long ago, but yet we've only seen certain things happen in our lifetimes. So like, if this shit actually did happen, if there was super volcanoes going off, it's gonna happen at any time.
Oh yeah.
Humans don't stand a fucking chance. So we need to know about that in order to fucking plan to what the fuck we're gonna do.
Well, why aren't there plans for most things when you think about it? Like, I know it's so far fetched, but why aren't but that's the thing. That's the funny thing that I'm about to bring up right now. There actually are plans for all of these things. It's just that the government doesn't care about, if these events happen, the government doesn't care about the average civilian survival. They're not on our side. They don't give a fuck. If one of these things are to happen, oh yeah, the government has a plan in place for it all.
What do you think
Meteorite,
it
they're
makes
going to Raven Rock or Mount Weather.
Yeah.
And that's always been the plan. Raven Rock or Mount Weather for meteorites and nuclear disasters. Like, we have plans for all of these things. They just don't involve us. We're not meant to survive, or we're just going to survive
It's
by the
just
sheer
those
dumb
big
luck.
people.
Yeah. And there's even a plan for freaking a zombie apocalypse, as
Here's the deal.
unlikely as it
Here's the deal.
sounds.
If there's ever a fucking nuke, I'm taking Raylene, my dogs, and I'm fucking cramming us into my fucking fridge.
They have said that nuclear war is
I'm telling you that's not going to help you. That's just
You guys
Indiana
ever
Jones.
seen fucking
Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones?
That doesn't actually work.
Hops in a fridge and
I would
fucking
not
survives
try
a
off
nuke.
of what
Do you
I've
want to know
seen
why
in
that
movies.
fridge works, Dylan? It's
Yeah.
lead lined. That was in the 50s. They don't make those anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If there's ever a nuke, I'm gonna bend over, stick my head between my legs, and kiss my ass goodbye.
I mean,
God damn
the
it.
day that all that stuff starts happening, if that was to happen,
We have no chance.
We have no chance.
I'd run in my car.
Nuclear fucking.
I mean, okay, given that we live in Wisconsin, we have a chance to survive a day. And then the nuclear fallout would just kill off the rest of the planet instantly. We'd be dead eventually.
Which is the main reason why countries haven't really gone to nuclear war at this point. Because they know if we did it, we'd be
They've been saying that nuclear war is starting to be way more of a possibility now that everybody's so fragmented. And
because Russia fucking hates us.
And I'll say other countries. It's not really.
It's not just
where we play a huge part in it, because you see there's a deal that there's a deal that a lot of countries are trying to do.
And yet we sell their products.
Yeah, exactly. There's a deal that a lot of countries are trying to do. And that is they're trying to get a deal where we can ban nuclear weapons from ever being created, and the ones that are still here, we can just deep six them. But the United States, obviously being our stockpile of weapons, this is what you don't hear, and this is why it's like, yeah, if a nuclear ever goes down, we're going to be a part of it easily. Like, don't say we're not to blame, because we could easily be the ones who start it, because we refuse to sign that plan to get rid of nuclear weapons.
Which we fucking should do, like.
Yeah, and so does China, obviously, and so does Russia.
It's a weapon that's so dangerous.
Exactly. Why does any country have them? It's just a weapon that can end the world at a moment's notice, and what's the point of having it?
But you know that even if they do sign that, there's still going to be some left over. You know that.
Why would there be?
Because they're not going to destroy.
Why, if we, the people, make sure that there aren't?
We have to take over the government for that.
We should be. That's how it always was meant to be ran. It was never meant to be ran by this one
people,
person.
For the people.
Exactly.
There is a line in the Constitution that says if you do not find the government fit, or if they are starting to overstep their power, then you have every right to.
So why don't we fucking exercise our Constitution?
Literally, Joe Biden and Donald
bastards if
that's the case, Joe Biden and Donald Trump were the least popular presidential candidates in history. Why the hell, if that's the case, why don't we all step up and start, like Tyler said, by the people, for the people? We just had the two worst, at least as far as I'm concerned, worst presidential candidates this country's probably ever seen.
Because we're all sheep.
Exactly.
We got Biden now.
That's terrible.
Better than Trump.
It's not better than Trump. It might actually end up being worse than Trump in the long run, which is kind of funny. As funny as that sounds.
Yeah.
Because one thing under Biden
Trump
I've
actually
noticed,
gave a fuck. As much as incompetent he was, he actually gave a shit.
no, I won't go as far as to say that, because none of them give a shit.
He cared about America. He didn't care about the people. He cared about
he's
America.
just a good acting
He
head.
wanted to make America look good. That's all he was about.
See, he's a good acting head, and all these guys are, because at the end of the day, these people are destined to become president. If you really think that we're electing people and we're doing all this nonsense, but yet half the stuff that we the people want is never getting done, and you really think that we're the ones putting these people into power, it's like, honestly, they were probably, like I said, destined to become president for all we know. They probably already have the guy who's going to be in 2024. And
do it. Her name is fucking Kamala Harris.
Who knows? Could happen. For all we know, it really could happen. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's why it's like you don't have to worry about that stuff. The only stuff that you should be worrying about is how can you keep yourself and your friends and loved ones and family alive and take care of yourselves. That's really it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about who's running things, because they don't really play a huge part in your overall life.
You know what? I want to go back to the old days. Where's just Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan.
And fucking Good Morning Vietnam.
Bubba.
Dude, the Vietnam War was terrible.
Pretty much.
That changed everything, man. That changed everything.
That changed literally
That
everything.
changed the way that people
warfare,
fight wars. That changed the way the United States got involved.
Yep.
And the United
Changed our
States
foreign
went down
policy.
a dark path after that war because we were so pissed off because we lost that war.
You know, a lot of people don't talk, and that's why a lot of people have like this. It's kind of a conspiracy.
We got our fucking asses.
But if you notice, Vietnam
handed
isn't
to
really
us.
taught about as much as all the other wars.
They built tunnels to fucking overrun us. The Vietnam were crazy. We should never fucked with them. Should never went on their turf. Ever.
At least not at that time. We had just gotten out of
We
a
drafted
world war.
our own 18 to 25.
Because we had just gotten out of a world war like 15 years ago at the very earliest.
And the biggest thing that was going on in the fucking country was peace at the time because we had just landed on the fucking moon.
Wasn't the Vietnam War the pointless war
Every war is pointless.
that everybody was mad about?
Pretty much every war is pointless.
It
Well,
was
yeah, but
basically-
at the time,
Basically, North Vietnam was trying to take over South Vietnam, and
we decided to step in.
China didn't want that to happen. So we went with China, like the dumbasses we are. And then China.
Wait, North Korea wanted
To be fair, they weren't
owned us.
the China obviously of back then isn't the same China as now, so you can't say that we're dumbasses for helping them out because we were on a much better relationship back then.
Yeah, but they ended up being
and
communists.
obviously hindsight you can't be here in the 2020s seeing our relationship
Richard
now and
Nixon-
then saying, well back then we should have never helped them.
Richard Nixon actually was the worst president of all time because he completely fucking
Tricky dick.
Yeah, he was involved in many treason acts
He did Watergate.
upon this country, and that wasn't the only thing. That was the thing we caught.
Yeah.
That was after he did all the terrible shit he did, and that's why we're fucked up as a country. That's why we don't trust anybody anymore.
I mean, I think there's multiple reasons at the end of the day why we're all so messed up. But I think at the end of the day, we should all at least have a bit of sharing the blame. Because every person in society plays a part in...
But that's like the last generation now that's alive right now is like the 1960s to 1970s. There's some, World War II veterans.
Well, technically,
around,
Gen Z would have been born in the 1900s.
But that's like our big population right now is like...
I think it's Gen
1960s
Z.
and on.
I think Gen Z is the biggest population right now, in my honest opinion. I think this post-baby boom stuff has
I don't think so.
Because the world grew a lot, if you think about it, since the 2000s. We went, in the 2010s, we went from like 6 billion to like almost like 8 billion.
Yeah, but I think our big population right now is like the people that are dying off, the people that are in their, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, that's
You think old
the
people?
big populace of our population because of the baby boomers. Because all those people were having babies after the war, and that's what ended up happening. We ended up having all these people.
I kind of feel like other generations have filled in that gap as years have went on. Because I feel like a lot of those people are dead.
I'm not saying in the U.S., just the U.S.
Oh, it's in the world in general? Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, there's probably a lot more of
Because
those
a lot of
people
countries
everywhere
take
else.
care of themselves a lot better than we do.
We take care of our corporations and their wallets, but we don't take care of our people. That's why you're starting to
our
see...
people process bullshit that they call fast food.
Did I have McDonald's the other fucking day and I couldn't even eat it? It was so disgusting.
Yeah, I've been having that thing with all fast food drinks lately.
I couldn't eat it.
Everything is terrible to me. If I cook my own meal, half the time it's just like, dude, what the fuck am I eating? Because it's like,
Food doesn't taste good
I
anymore.
don't trust my grocery stores. I don't trust fucking where I'm getting the shit anymore.
Yo, is it just me or does food not
If there's
taste
a
good?
fucking
Food tastes
there's a
great for me.
scarcity in all this shit.
I'll always love food.
Like, I'm thinking, where the fuck they're getting this shit? Because there's shortages all over the
They're
fucking
killing.
world
I'm kidding.
with everything.
Probably are killing children. Probably not for food, but they probably are killing children, for all we know. I mean, I'm not
They
going to
might
put
be.
it past
Turn them
them.
into Black Widows.
It's a dark path to go down, man.
It's a dark path to go down, but it's the reality of the situation. And that's
It
the
really
funny
is.
thing is,
It really
we
is.
can't run from reality. We can distract ourselves with a lot of things,
It's what we think about when we're drunk.
but at the end of the day, I think no matter what happens, we should definitely all be going back to what we opened up with. Start treating people with respect. Start acting with integrity. Start changing yourself to better fit the life that you want. You know what I mean? You can't just sit here and complain all day and then not do anything. There's just, at the end of the day, like we said, gotta be better. and
you've got to
be good to each other.
You've got to exhaust all your options.
But question everything too
before you give up.
Yeah, and question things. Like, don't just sit there because somebody told you to believe this and believe. Question shit.
And ask yourself, what if?
Yeah, exactly. We all, like I said earlier, we get episode, like, we all live on a big rock. We might as well fucking try to take care of each other.
I was going to say, what if Spencer was straight?
Oh, fuck you. All right, well.
All right, boys, I'm going to close this up. Well, it's great having you guys here. Hope you guys like our videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.